Gatsby's story begins in the summer of 1922, in the wealthy enclave of West Egg on Long Island. Nick Carraway, a young man from the Midwest, has moved to the area to pursue a career in the bond business. He finds himself living next door to the enigmatic Gatsby, whose extravagant parties are the talk of the town. As Nick becomes more entangled in Gatsby's world, he begins to uncover the truth about the man behind the legend. He learns that Gatsby was born into poverty, and that he made his fortune through shady business dealings. He discovers that Gatsby's real name is James Gatz, and that he reinvented himself as a self-made millionaire in order to win Daisy's love. Despite the obstacles that stand in his way, Gatsby remains undeterred in his quest to win back Daisy. He throws extravagant parties in the hopes that she will attend, and he even enlists Nick's help in arranging a meeting between the two of them. The sun set over the grand mansions of West Egg, casting a warm glow over the sprawling lawns and shimmering swimming pools. The air was thick with the sound of laughter and music, as the wealthy elite of New York mingled and danced at one of Jay Gatsby's lavish parties. Gatsby himself stood on his balcony, looking out over the sea of guests below. It was at one of these parties that Gatsby first met Daisy Buchanan, the beautiful and wealthy wife of Tom Buchanan. Gatsby had been in love with Daisy for years, and when he finally saw her again, his heart raced with excitement. Daisy was drawn to Gatsby's mysterious aura and his romantic gestures, and the two of them quickly fell deeply in love. But Gatsby's love for Daisy was not enough to overcome the social and economic forces that separated them. Daisy was bound by the strict expectations of her class and her marriage to Tom, a man who was openly unfaithful and morally corrupt. As Gatsby and Daisy's love affair intensified, so too did the tensions between Gatsby and Tom. It all came to a head on a hot summer day, when Gatsby and Tom confronted each other at Daisy's home. The tension was palpable, as Gatsby and Tom exchanged insults and accusations. In the end, Daisy chose to stay with Tom, and Gatsby was left alone and heartbroken. In the aftermath, Gatsby is left to pick up the pieces of his shattered dreams. He realizes that his quest to win back Daisy was ultimately futile, and that his lavish lifestyle was nothing more than a facade. He retreats into himself, and the once vibrant world of West Egg begins to fade away. In the end, Gatsby's story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of chasing after a dream that can never be fully realized. It is a reminder that wealth and status are ultimately hollow pursuits, and that true happiness can only be found through genuine human connection and a sense of purpose that transcends material gain. But amidst all of the glitz and glamour, there are glimpses of hope and humanity. Nick Carraway, the narrator of the story, serves as a voice of reason in a world gone mad. He is an outsider looking in, a man who is able to see through the illusions and see the world as it really is. Nick's relationship with Gatsby is the heart of the story. Despite Gatsby's flaws and obsessions, Nick sees the good in him. He recognizes that Gatsby's love for Daisy is genuine, and that his desire to win her back is motivated not by selfishness, but by a deep sense of longing. Through Nick's eyes, we come to understand the tragedy of Gatsby's life. He is a man who has everything except the one thing he truly wants. His story is a reminder that even the most successful and powerful among us are still vulnerable to the pains and disappointments of love. But the story of the Great Gatsby is not just a tragic love affair. It is a scathing critique of the moral decay and corruption that underlies the glamorous world of the wealthy elite. The characters in the novel are deeply flawed, consumed by their own desires and greed. Tom is unapologetically unfaithful and racist, while Daisy is self-absorbed and materialistic. Even Gatsby, the novel's tragic hero, is deeply flawed, driven by his obsession with Daisy and his illegal activities. Against this backdrop of moral decay, Fitzgerald paints a vivid portrait of the American dream, a dream that is both alluring and ultimately unattainable. Gatsby is the embodiment of this dream, a self-made man who has reinvented himself through his wealth and power. Yet despite his success, he is never truly accepted by the elite of New York, who view him as an outsider and a threat to their own social standing. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe to QuickBooks, like and comment below.